How's it going, everybody? In today's video, we're going to be looking at our top buys and top sells currently listed in the A1 Edge Finder. Now, this is normally a video that we put out on the weekends, but you guys really seem to be enjoying these videos, so we want to give you guys what you want. So here we are doing it again in the middle of the week. So before we get into our top buy and top sell of the week, we usually check out COT data and retail positioning beforehand. So let's go ahead and jump right into that. So taking a look at COT data here, we're taking a look at what institutional traders, or sometimes referred to as smart money traders, what they are currently most long and short on. So starting over here on the left side of the screen, we can see our most short positions from COT data. And currently the Japanese yen and the Australian dollar are our two most shorted currencies. The Japanese yen being shorted by about 78% of institutional traders, where the Australian dollar is being shorted by 72% of institutional traders. Now, on the other hand, we don't have a lot of currencies up here that are super long. We do have the pound, which is our most long currency, sitting at nearly 67% long from COT data, institutional traders. But gold and oil have been flying recently, especially gold. Gold is having a crazy rally right now, trading at all-time highs, and COT data is all over it, with 75% of institutional traders favored long on gold right now, our most long asset when it comes to COT data. Now we can check out our latest weekly COT filings. This is probably my favorite thing to look at in the Edge Finder because it compares last week's COT data to our most current and most up-to-date COT data. We can see the difference in the long and short contracts, how many long or short contracts were added or taken away. And then we can also see the net change percentage from last week to this week. So for example, if we take a look at the very top, the New Zealand dollar from last week to this week added 7,184 long contracts. So a lot of institutional traders open long positions on the New Zealand dollar. They did open short contracts as well, but only 753. So way more long contracts being added than short contracts. That's why our net change percentage is so high at 3.22%. Whereas on the other hand, something like the NASDAQ, look at this. So 1,778 long contracts were closed and 13,537 short contracts were opened, for an overall net change percentage of over 5%. That is huge. So does that mean that institutional traders are shifting their bias on the NASDAQ? I believe that it was favored bullish from institutional traders last week. At least favored more bullish. We can see that right now it's gotten a lot more close to 50-50, largely in part because of these 13,537 short contracts that were open. So that's how you read this chart here. If you'd like to take a look at any specific asset, feel free to pause the video and you can catch up on that. But I'm going to move on into retail positioning, get an update on what day traders are doing so far this week. So let's start with just looking at major currency pairs. And we can see that they are favored over 60%. If you know the Edge Finder, 60% is our magic number when it comes to scoring. We want things to be clear and obvious and trending in the right direction before we score something. So because the Australian dollar, US dollar cross, and the USD CHF, US dollar Swiss franc cross are both over this 60% bullishness from retail traders, that's actually a bearish signal for us here. Whereas vice versa, the euro dollar pair and dollar yen pair are favored over 60% on the short side from day traders, and that is actually a bullish indicator for us. Now let's check out our minor currency pairs, and you know what, I'm going to throw in the commodities as well because gold and oil have been trending so high. So I actually see oil right here. Oil is around 50-50 when it comes to the day traders, but look at this. Gold,
market analysis, free trading courses, Edge Finder data, and special offers. What do these things all have in common? They're all available for you right now inside of our free Discord. You can click the link down in the description below to join the free Discord today and get access to all of this and more. Stay up to date with all the latest trading information and A1 content. And if you want to upgrade to our Gold VIP Discord that features every single trade that Trader Nick and our other professional analysts take, you can find the links for that in the description as well. So don't wait, go check out the free Discord today.
From the day trading perspective, 70% of day traders are short on gold right now during this crazy historic run. That's partially why we're seeing a bullish indicator here from the retail positioning. But you can take a look here at all of these bearish biases being formed because of our retail positioning, as well as all of these bullish biases being formed because of the retail positioning. But let's go ahead and hop back into top setups and figure out what we're going to look at today. Well, actually, I can already tell you, we are definitely taking a look at gold. Normally, we just stick to currency pairs when we're looking at our top buys and top sells of the day. But gold is a highly, highly traded commodity, and it's on a crazy run right now. So let's go ahead and break down the numbers, giving gold this bullish +6 score here. And then when it comes to the bearish side, we actually don't have anything in the Edge Finder right now that is considered a bearish bias technically. The closest thing that we have to that is the New Zealand dollar Canadian dollar cross, which is still a neutral bias, but at a -4, so just 1 point away from technically being a bearish bias. So why don't we go ahead and break down those numbers too, because who knows, maybe by tomorrow it does get that official bearish bias. That's the cool thing about the Edge Finder, is it's constantly updating and constantly looking for new data. It's getting updated by the minute, by the hour, by the day, depending on what it's looking for specifically. So it's constantly got the most up-to-date information to make all of these bias decisions. But let's go ahead and just jump right into gold, because that is the hot topic of the week. So here we are in our gold breakdown page. Like we already mentioned, a +6 score bullish bias. COT data is a -1 score, and retail sentiment is a +1 score. Taking a look at those numbers right over here, we know that institutional traders are favored long on gold at the moment, but our recent change bias was actually negative, and the dollar is sitting right around 50-50, so that's getting a neutral score. However, the recent change for the dollar is also positive, so when you add all that together, that's why we're getting our -1 score here. The retail sentiment, on the other hand, like we just mentioned, 70% of retail traders, day traders, are favored short on gold right now, and that's giving us our +1 score there. Seasonality for the month of March is also a +1 score. We can see that historically speaking, over the last 10 years averaged together, March is usually a pretty good month for the for gold, and it usually trades higher, and that is exactly what we are seeing here. Our trend reading is a score of +2, and we can see the Edge Finder reading here in our score indicator showing about when this gold run started. It's got its first official bullish score in a while on February 23rd, and it also hit a +10 score on February 29th, which is really impressive. If we want to take a look at price forecast so we can actually see the price chart of gold, I can pull that up here and find XAU USD right at the top and look at that. So yeah, kind of sitting at a little bit of a range here, not a ton of movement for a good bit here. It was like a week or so, longer than a week, not a ton of movement, slight movement to the upside. And then it hit February 29th was that day that it got that massive +10 score, and that was really the start of the rally here. And you can see that it's just been trading higher and higher every single day since then. Let's finish up with our fundamental data. We have an economy score of +1, inflation and interest rate scores of +1 as well, and a neutral labor market score. Now, this is obviously fundamental data for the dollar, because gold doesn't necessarily have an economy backing it up, and we're looking at XAU USD here, so the price of gold compared to the dollar. So we'll take a look at dollar fundamental news just to get caught up. So currently GDP growth is 3.2%, inflation 3.1%, unemployment 3.7%, interest rates on the dollar are 5.5%, and retail sales month over month -0.8%, MPMI 52.2. So there we go. That's all the data and numbers backing up that bullish bias on gold at the moment. The other pair that we said that we were going to take a look at was the New Zealand dollar and the Canadian dollar. So let's go ahead and pull that up. And here we go. So again, technically just a neutral bias, but we are right on the cusp of being a bearish bias with that -4 score. COT data is actually a +3 score, in retail sentiment, a -1 score. So COT data currently favored long on the New Zealand dollar, over 60% here from institutional traders. So that is favored on the long side. But the Canadian dollar is sitting right at 50-50. Our recent change from the New Zealand dollar is positive, 3.22%, whereas on the Canadian dollar is negative 0.25%. Day traders are favored on the long side when it comes to New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar, 62%. Seasonally also has a +1 score, and we can see that in the month of March, historically speaking, New Zealand CAD does trade higher in the month of March. Historically, our trend reading, on the other hand, is a -2 score, and you can take a look at the score indicator here and see that it actually did have a bullish bias late last month, but those scores quickly went away and started heading in the negative direction. So I'm very curious to see what the price forecast chart looks like so we can get a better idea of how it's really trending. So if I pull up NZD CAD here, we can see that there was a long time that it was trading higher. It hit this level of resistance here. It never quite broke through and then started trading lower after that. It has come up a little bit since March 1st, but price forecast based on the algorithm and everything that the Edgefinder is running does project that the NZD CAD is going to continue to trade lower over the next couple of days. We can finish up with our fundamentals here for the Canadian dollar and the New Zealand dollar. We have an economy score of -4, an inflation score of +1, interest rate scores are neutral, and labor market is a -2 score. So kind of all over the place, but here are the numbers for that. So GDP growth in Canada, 0.2% compared to negative 0.3% in New Zealand. MPMI in Canada, 1.4 compared to 3.87. Retail sales numbers, +1 in Canada, -1 in New Zealand. Inflation in Canada, 2.9% compared to 4.7%. Unemployment rate, 5.7% compared to 4%. And lastly, interest rates on the Canadian dollar are 5% compared to 5.5% on the New Zealand dollar. So there we go. There's all the number and data backing up that -4 score in the Edgefinder for NZD CAD. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you found the Edgefinder interesting, or if you want to just go ahead and get it for yourself, if you want to learn more about it, you can look down in the description. We have links down there. We can also look at our website, a1trading.com. We have a lot of useful and free trading information there, as well as a spot where you can live chat with some of our team members if you have questions about the Edgefinder. But as always, if you want the Edgefinder at a discounted rate, you can use promo code A1YT at checkout to get a discount on the Edgefinder.
Did you know we do a live trading show Monday through Friday with guests from all over the world? To get notified when we go live, click the bell button next to the subscribe button or check in at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We have helpful, free content in the description below and on our website, a1trading.com. Thanks for watching today's video, and we'll see you tomorrow.